What have you achieved? How far have you gone? What are the legacies you would want to leave with the year 2022? I leave that with you as a food for thought. Good afternoon and welcome on the main issues on Abuja City Journal's online television. It's a regular afternoon program where we bring to you what's happening around and we discuss and elaborate on it. I have with me my usual guests, Mr. Remy Adebayo. Thank you very much for coming again today.
Thank you so much for having me again today.
My name is Yetunde Yemi Bangbushi, your usual anchor person. And today we are going to talk about something yet another major issue. And away from insecurity, food crisis, today we are talking about a leap the government has taken that is quite impressive. And of course, it's going to help our youths to sit right and sit tight. We'll be talking about the arrest of Oladipo Daniel Oyebanjo by ICPC. I know so many of you cannot imagine who that person is. It is D'banj, the popular D'banj. He was arrested by ICPC. This is to tell you that no man, however popular, is above the law. So he was arrested by the ICPC in connection with Empower Project. Of course, you all know what Empower Project is. It is a project to empower the youths, the graduates, and a fellow youth is found fraudulent in the matter. I have Mr. Adebayo today again to help expatiate on it, to tell us why D'banj should be arrested. After all, there are bigger cohorts who are still moving about free with chieftaincy titles. Why did he have to arrest D'banj? Is it that he has lost popularity or he's no longer in a carcass, like the typical Nigerian would say?
Thank you very much, Ekema. D'banj was arrested because he's a Nigerian. He was arrested because, like the ICPC said, the agency said it has received petitions from several beneficiaries of Empower who were placed under him but have not been paid. And that after several efforts have been made, invitations extended to him to appear before the commission, that he refused to honor that invitation. And in the statement that was issued this Wednesday by Mrs. Ogugwa, the spokesperson of the ICPC, she mentioned that similar other petitions were received concerning other in the categories, people in category of D'banj, but they came, and because they came, they were granted, they were given administrative bail because they feel that no noise was made about it because they were invited and they showed up. But then, that at several events, the international award winning singer was invited, and he had been given the excuses to say that maybe he was not in the country, he was on the international, the foreign scene, doing shows and things like that. So when he eventually appeared yesterday after several other invitations,
he didn't just appear.
No, he appeared yesterday.
Yes, we were told that the ICPC told him wherever he is in the world
there was a threat. Yes, but then he was not arrested.
Of course, he was threatened.
He came. Yes, he was.
So
he was threatened, but then he was not arrested from his home. He went to the place. He gave himself up, and then the ICP felt that it was time for him to be detained. And they said from yesterday, you mentioned that for fraudulent activities, of course, yes, it's a fraud-related issue, but ICPC is telling us that yes, D'banj is helping the team of investigators in their investigation, and that the allegation that came along with the petitions will be proven. That the release became imperative because of the need not to subject the whole thing to a media trial. You know, the Banj is a popular
Oh, yes.
Nigerian, and like you said, the other Nigerians that have gone to this, there was no noise around it. But when anybody hear about the Banj, they want
It's a big
to
name.
wonder why what is it doing with
With
the
such
Empower?
funds,
What is it doing
yes.
with ICPC? So that's the issue. And
Yes.
like maybe I need to say this again because you mentioned about somebody big. There is nobody that is big before the law. And if anybody has, it's just a petition. Somebody can petition me if you have anything or if you have any facts against me that suggests that maybe I've infringed, you know, on the rights of other or against the law. You are free to go and make a petition either before the police or the ICPC or the EFCC if it has something that has to do with financial crime. Then, if I'm invited, I should be able to surrender myself and say, see, here I am. What is the question that you are asking me?
If I don't have a skeleton in my cupboard.
At times, if I don't ask question, you know, they have this phobia for our security agencies, as if when you are asked to appear before them, you are already guilty, or maybe it's a place where you go and you don't come back. I don't think that's the way it's supposed to be. If there's an allegation against you, it is incumbent on you to respond by go before them and clear your name. And if after the end of the investigation, you could be found to be, you know, to be innocent, then you are free.
Society believes
But when you are
that
not,
no one is found innocent after all.
no, but that's not.
the fear
But that's not
that-
true.
well, it's not true.
But
Of
that's
course,
not
a few
true.
people would have come out.
After investigation,
Innocent,
that's why the
yes.
ICP is also saying that we don't want to preempt the outcome of the investigation. At the end of the day, it might be innocent. At the end of the day, it might not. So it is the investigation that will determine what way or which direction the
Judgment.
I mean the indictment or not will go. So it is the normal thing for him to appear, and I wonder why he did not appear before this whole thing.
Yes, thank you very much for that explanation. However, you want to wonder, what is the bank doing with Empower funds? These Empower funds are paid directly from the government to the beneficiaries, who are the youths just coming from service and employed into different fields. And Empower was mostly in the education field. They were mostly sent to basic primary, secondary schools. And you want to wonder, was there a musical fund too that was Empower? What is the bank doing with Empower? Though most papers are silent about it, but I want to hear your opinion. What do you think the bank was doing with Empower funds for him to have even had access to it in the first place?
Well, I think my first response to it is to say that, like I mentioned the other time, the band is a Nigerian.
Yes.
The band is entitled to every other opportunities that government give out.
No, I'm asking
If-
this question because
I
the
understand.
government is paying directly to most of the beneficiaries. Why was he in custody of some for some beneficiaries?
Well, from
This is why I'm asking.
yes, I understand. From the indications that we have seen and the explanation by the ICPC itself, it shows that Empower funds are not really paid directly to the beneficiary directly. Because if that was the case, we wouldn't have the Empower saying that there are other people in that particular category that have appeared before it. Perhaps in the wisdom of government, you know, the government can feel that, okay, we have a project like this. How do we route this particular initiative so that we won't just look at it is government alone? And as influencers like the bank, government might feel that through individuals like that, you'll be able to mobilize people at the grassroots to know who are the real people that may be in need of such initiative. So if there's an infraction between that process and government, then government will have a blame, a part of the blame itself. But if government is saying that fine, there are some initiatives that government has to route through traditional rulers. Like during the COVID period, I know that most of these palliatives and all those things, some of them had to pass through traditional rulers, some of them through religious leaders, some of them through politicians, even if some of them did not get to the intended target. Like it happened in Akwa Ibom State where I did the report during that period. So I can say that if government says that there is a program like this that Nigerians can benefit from, or could be the channel through government wants to route that particular initiative, and government, for whatever requirement or criteria that they put forward, if the bank, either in its capacity as a Nigerian or as its capacity of maybe a corporate organization that it represents, that it has, applies for that particular initiative and it was considered, I do not see anything that is wrong with it. What is particularly wrong about is if at the end of the day
it doesn't get to the target,
is indicted for not disbursing the money which government admit available for beneficiaries of this scheme. Because government, Empower is a Buhari administration's initiative to tackle unemployment and
among
youth,
the youths.
and some of them, I know some of them that benefited from this, either as a classroom teacher, those that were
mostly
engaged for
as
some
classroom
months and things like that.
teachers.
So fine, if this happened, why would you receive funding from government and at the end of the day you
Divert the
refuse to take the money? Then we are hearing this is an allegation anyway. It is not confirmed. I'm not an investigator and I don't work with ICPC also, that some of these people in the categories of the branch actually brought in ghost names. They brought in ghost name. It's a normal thing in Nigeria, kind of a criminal and corrupt entitlement mentality. That's why you see civil servants, almost every governor or what do you call the federal government, at times when they come in, they want to identify the number of ghost workers. And you notice that at times
It keeps
it keeps reoccurring. It's reoccurring.
How would they finish removing the ghosts?
How
I
do
keep
they
asking.
come? So that is the way we have to be looking at who are the collaborators. Did they know that some ghost names were brought into the list of the Empower beneficiaries? Did the banks, when they were paying, did they pay to certain individuals' bank or names as beneficiary, or they just diverted a bulk of that particular money? If government has given me the opportunity to bring 100 people, and I have looked for like 50 genuine people, and I have
50 ghosts.
50 that are phony and all those no. But at the end of the day, by the time government or my bank is paying, because there's supposed to be a schedule through which banks
Will pay,
disburse funds to
just
those
like
beneficiaries,
salaries.
just as like salaries. Do they pay to those individuals, or do they just take the 50 that I brought
Yes.
in a criminal way,
And then you share the
they
remaining
give it to
50.
me, then while some other people share something? So that's how most I want to say sorry anyway, I don't, but that is our mentality. Because when you hear of ghost workers, you wonder, where are the resources that are meant to pay those people we haven't been going to? We have been paying them. Who are they? They are ghosts because they are non-existent. They are not physical. You can't reach out to them, but those names are present.
Some officers
are
have even
they?
retired. Some are dead.
Some are dead.
And yet they are
Some
still
are
earning
non-existent.
salaries.
Some are non-existent. Those names do not. They never existed, so they are not there.
So how
But
will
some
the money
people
get to their
have been
accounts?
receiving their money. It's a collaboration cartel. That's why yesterday when government was talking about the withdrawal cash withdrawal limit of the
Reducing it
CBN,
to 100
they are
100,000.
warning banks specifically that they will sanction collaborators, because that's always where this always come from. It's either from the bank or from lawyers or from some other
The
public
actual
officials.
lawmakers
Yes,
are the ones who start the breaking.
of course, because
Some
how do I
person.
know how to maneuver the banking system? I'm not a banker. How will I know how I can smash through the process when I'm not a lawyer? How do I know the rules, the administrative rules and bureaucracy when I'm not a public servant? So they are the ones. So unless and until some of them come around and give us brains, all those tricks that is when a new minister is coming in Nigeria,
Yes, the PS will teach
they
him
will
how to
teach him
manage.
this is how to do things
In
here.
fact, if he
oh.
wants to do it right, they will call him to order.
Don't let
We don't do it
so that
right
you don't
here,
go
oh.
back to your constituency and people will stone you, so you can actually make some money through this means. So Those are the problem. We have a wrong mentoring system that collaborates to swindle the process.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adebayo. Now, having spoken about the bench being arrested, are you actually seeing a future for the youths? One, today most of our youths don't believe anything is right. Everything right seems wrong to them. Some of them will even tell you. Some time ago, I had a chit chat with a boy who is supposed to be a Yahoo, who is assumed to be a Yahoo boy. And I asked him, why are you into this business? Aren't you afraid that one day you'll be caught and you'll be killed? He said, no. He said, the money the white people took from my grandfather is what I'm collecting back.
I've had that
They already have a way of of excusing illegality.
Yes.
They have a way of doing things their own way, even at the expense of the society. So if people like D'banj can be arrested, it's an indication that nobody is safe. And as a matter of fact, this will even send red flag to the public, especially the youth, because today you find them, most of them, it's just that we have a godfather somewhere. Most of them are found in this kind of business. By the time you hear the story of D'banj, you'll be amazed the kind of people who are involved in the deal. Who would have even told him, don't worry, we'll back you up? Because I keep asking myself, why was he invited and he was ignoring invitation? Why?
It is possible for him, like the excuse or the statement from the not. In fact, it's not in the statement anyway, but from other resources that I was able to glance through, saying that he had international music engagement. Of course, we all know that D'banj is a singer.
How many minutes is he going to appear with? Doesn't he come home at all? You want to ask. If you have engagement, you can schedule a time. You don't have okay, at this time I'll be engaged in the US, I'll be back to Nigeria in 2 weeks time. Maybe can we reschedule for that time? It will show that you want to come.
I mentioned something here sometimes ago of a comment by a former Nigerian governor that Nigerian big men don't feel big until they break the law. When you have this mentality that, what is it they are calling me? Who is the name of that thing? Forget, I'm D'banj. Or don't let me put it in. I'm Remi Adebayo. Even me, I'm not popular and I don't know anybody. I could be locked up anonymously without anybody knowing about it. But then, for any reason, like you said it rightly anyway, that no matter your engagement, communication is very, very important. And of course, you cannot be on indefinite international engagement.
If he's invited to come and
if
play
you are
invited, won't he come?
So
he will
if
schedule.
you have been invited,
Schedule.
I think is a way of taking our system with contempt. We do not respect the institutions as much because we know that there are loopholes, and we know that maybe because of the influence that we wield and the people that we know, we can get away with certain things. I think that could be at the background of his mind that I can do this. But when we are doing this, you forget that except you are the president or the vice president, the governor or the deputy governor,
Don't have immunity.
you have no immunity. Even the president and these people we mentioned will lose their immunity at
As
the end
soon
of
as they
their
step out
tenure.
of power.
So they can't be called to question. I remember the former governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose, was almost, he was almost, invisible.
Yes.
But because he had prior invitation by the EFCC after his tenure, he went
He
and
had to show
surrendered
up.
himself.
Yes.
So here I am. Because if he did not do so, the
They'll find him
FCC
out.
could declare him wanted, he become fugitive and won't be able to operate freely. Whatever it is today, he will go to court, we find his day in the court, and whatever happens at the end of the day becomes his lot. But for now, it is still at the realm of investigation, at the realm of invitation, accusation. Is an allegation. An allegation does not automatically translate into indictment. You have not been convicted. They are not even asking you to come and face the court now. They are saying that there are
Come and
petitions.
respond to these petitions.
Yes, there are
yeah.
petitions against you. People are raising these accusations that these and these were what you did. And what are you supposed to do? I come. Oh, it is not true. Oh, it is true. Oh, it's a mistake. Whatever it is, you should be able to come. And that is when your personality will have been able to weigh in to say, okay, in self-recognition, I didn't know this, whatever, although there's no ignorance in the law. But then there could have been something. But as it is now, you asked whether there is any hope for the youth.
For the youths.
The first thing is that D'banj is not a youth. D'banj is 42 years.
He's still a youth.
He's
He
not
falls
a
within
youth.
the range.
No, the age group in Nigeria, youth age, I think is 18 to 35. I can't call myself a youth. So it's not a youth by the Nigerian standard and even global standard. I don't think so. So beyond that, he's a young man. I can call myself a young man. If I do anything wrong, of course I should go for it. But at the age of responsibility, the age of 18, you should know that if there is any infractions against the law, you bear your father's name. So the youth should not.
He
has not.
commands a lot of.
That's
youth
why I said
followers.
that he's an influencer as a singer. I mean, not just a singer, an international singer.
More than that.
But the youth should not. First, I think we have to be careful even here too on the caution not to pass judgment. He has not been indicted. He's invited. Yes, he got it wrong by not surrendering himself earlier, but now he's there, and they are trying to investigate. And also, the ICPC said that they don't want to make a media trial of this. What does that translate to me is that they want the investigators to go through the books,
process.
to go through the process, and they said it's going to be all inclusive. So let us see what becomes of the investigation to
No,
know
he's not.
the direction is going.
He's not being indicted.
So, but if the youth,
Yes.
we want to say because D'banj is arrested for an allegation, their spirit will be dampened and everything. I think that would be the wrong.
No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is that the youths who are intending to go into fraud
Yes.
with this arrest,
Okay.
so many of them will see it as a red flag that anybody can be dealt with.
Of course,
That is where I'm
of,
going to.
of course,
that
that
is
should
the
be the
indication I mean.
okay. That should
It
be
is
the
going to be a
signal.
major signal now. It will point at any little time you want to remember. Even D'banj was arrested. You want to withdraw from
Yes.
whatever you want to go into.
But even this is, I don't think it shouldn't even start with D'banj. When we had the case of Ramon, what is his other name? Hush Puppy.
Yes, Hush Puppy.
With
Hush Puppy
the
is an
international network,
Yes.
with his
He was
money.
You still
and
believe
everything.
that he was arrested in an international nation.
Because
So the Nigeria, I'm talking about Nigeria, and they believe that anything goes.
that's what I'm saying.
Anything goes. So in Nigeria,
Everything
with
does
this
not
man,
go.
that's the
Nigeria,
red flag now.
Nigeria is a country of rules. No matter how pessimistic we may be about our rules, about our people, about our legal and security, what do you call it, structures. Except you do. I always tell people that the only way you are free or that you can boast of becoming everything in Nigeria is when you have no criminal issues around you. When you have it around you, you will know that Nigeria is not as loose as you think we are. Nigeria is a free society that want to guarantee you the opportunity to become whatever you want to become, although with many bureaucratic
Yes,
limitations.
so many.
But then you will know that when it comes to wielding the weight of the law against you when you commit a crime and when the state is interested, there may not be an exemption. For years now, at least I know I can say for under this administration, a number of arrests have been made by either the ICPC, the government, I mean the police or any other thing against the internet fraudsters. Just yesterday, under a new National Cybercrime Center established by the current Inspector General of Police, Usman Akali Baba, some guys were arrested in Ibadan over a fraud that involves about 64 million naira or so, part of say POS fraud. So if government wants to go after you, government will go after you no matter the name that you bear. Look at the case of I mentioned the case of Hush Puppy the other time. Look at DSP Abba Kyari. He was said to be an accomplice. Abba Kyari, apart from being Abba Kyari, is one of the
most respected
police officers,
In fact,
especially crime
yes,
busters.
he is called integrity.
Yes, a crime buster in this country. But yet, when it got to the point that government needed to go after him, they do. Although there's a problem of either will be extradited or not extradited, but today, Abba Kyari is not a free man. Just like
thank you very
as
much,
me and you
Mr.
can be
Adebayo.
free.
However, I still want to say you said something. You said when government wants to go after you, they will. Yes, I agree. They will go after you. Probably if you have done something against the government. A lot of people have been defrauded in this nation, and after series of reports, nothing is being done. I am a victim. Some time ago, my money was removed from my account. I was just receiving debit alerts continuously. I ran to the EFCC. I made a report, and they said I should go to the police. I got to the police. The police said I'll have to pay 500,000 when my money was stolen from the account. So you want to ask that is it the same people that are arresting people all around now? Yes, it's not as if trying to castigate them. No, I am a victim. I experienced it, and I've seen people around me who were victims of this internet fraud. And after reporting, all they will tell you is that don't worry, we'll work it out. This case I'm talking about is going to about 4 years now, and up till now, no single call has been made. As a matter of fact, the money was diverted to an account. That account was not blocked, and the victim was not called. That is a personal experience, and so many other people have this experience here and there. So if cases like this are being brought up and they now go to the media, we have caught so, we have caught so, you want to ask, is there a personal interest that made it possible because of experience? I'm saying this because you said when they are interested in the case. Yes, they will be interested if they are affected.
Well, I think because of our time, I think maybe I should just say that the interest here is the interest of the government, is the public fund, and the victims, the petitioners, are Nigerians. So I think those interests that at that time can be, can be weighed in that line. But then, like your peculiar experience, I want to say that I'm not speaking for the police or security agencies, that we have bad eggs here and there. I've lost my property sometimes ago. My laptop, I went for an event and burglars came into the house and they lost it. And I went to the police station to make entry. And when I was leaving, they were asking me for money.
Yes, you pay for even the full scatter.
So I lost my property, and I was also supposed to pay for. And I asked for what, and of course I left. But the truth is that the space gets opened daily now. When the space gets opened, the police we are talking about has a department that are sent to civil relationship or on things like this, and they know, of course, they know that there are bad eggs among them, so that there will be infraction and things like that. That's why a department like that was created. I wish we could take advantage of such if you have to prove an evidence of the people that are involved to do that. But then, like I said, we do not have a perfect society yet. We should know that. So
we are not near.
No, we don't have a perfect. Nobody, even America, does not have it. But then we will be asked to take personal safeguards. We'll be asked to, to be cautious of what we do, and whatever how trustworthy it is, we should always have a way to have a kind of security among ourselves, our finances, and everything, even when we have a society that is foolproof. But for today, I think we should just leave it like that. We should just know that we can get to the point that no matter who you are, you will bear your father's name.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adebayo. It's been very nice, and it looks like we'll have to add some time to this program so that we can be able to dig deep into matters arising. Thank you very much for being on the program. I've been with Mr. Adebayo in the last 30 minutes, and it's really been very nice and educative and also informative. Thank you very much for explaining, for making us to understand that this is a red flag. No matter who you are, you can be arrested. You can be gotten anywhere you are in the world. It's been Yetunde Yemi Bangboche on the main issues on Abuja City Journal's television online. Thank you very much for joining us, and to my crew, Lekon and Ajia Fati. Thank you very much for making the program a success. We'll come again soon.